Ladies, if you're thinking about getting married, remember this: do it early. Don't wait too long. Before I turned 30, I wanted to find someone who was a wealthy heir, earning over $1 million a year, and I could actually date guys like that. After 30, I aimed for career professionals like myself, earning around 300,000 a year, and I could still find them. But after 32, I started looking for someone making at least 10,000 a month, who had a house with a down payment and could afford a wedding gift of 50,000. Even that became difficult. I couldn't find anyone. This year, now at 34, I don't need a house, a car, or a wedding gift. I'm okay with skipping the wedding banquet and not having any gold jewelry or even wedding photos, but I still can't find anyone. They think, even if you have a car, a house, and a degree, you're already 34. Next year, you'll be 35, a high risk age for pregnancy. They assume there might be fertility issues, so I feel like despite my great potential, I completely messed it up.
The anxiety of older single women in China has become increasingly visible on social media. Some people mock them for wanting children at 38, using phrases like, "the power's about to go out." Others compare women who have had abortions to houses where someone died. These harsh comments reveal a cruel societal attitude, tying women's personal experiences to their perceived worth in marriage. In this hostile environment, many women are desperate to get married quickly, with some even openly offering to marry down or provide dowries on platforms like Douyin, Chinese version of TikTok. At the start of 2025, a popular influencer known as Athena shared her frustration as she turned another year older.
I would even pay a dowry of 50,000.
Some took it further.
I could even bring a man into my family, pay him a dowry, have kids who take my last name, and give him 8,000 a month to stay home, do the laundry, cook, and take care of the kids.
These extreme offers are seen as a last-ditch effort with little chance of success. Onlookers scoffed, saying, "See, it's hopeless. This is reality." This growing trend of pressuring women is clear in the public discourse. Women are being told to lower their expectations and stop being picky. At the same time, stories of foreign brides have been strategically promoted. These narratives feature women from abroad who, through travel or study, marry Chinese men. They are portrayed as ideal wives, rooted in small towns, uninterested in wealth, and willing to forego dowries or household registration benefits. These rare examples are amplified by media and used to lecture Chinese women. Look at them, then look at yourself. You deserve to be unhappy with such high demands. Adding to the absurdity, new standards are emerging online, such as the idea that only virgins deserve dowries, and marriage exams that assign a GPA-like score. These rules demand detailed reviews of a woman's reproductive history. How many pregnancies, births, or abortions? Women are being told their worth in marriage depends on meeting these harsh criteria. At the root of this pressure is an effort to suppress the women who demand high bride price and high incomes, forcing them to lower their demands and accept reality. But why do women make such demands in the first place? It's not simply about greed or vanity. This distorted view of marriage is a product of decades of social engineering by the Chinese Communist Party. CCP-controlled media, movies, ads, pop culture, and online literature have long promoted the idea that marrying a wealthy, powerful man is the key to success. Women are told their worth lies in finding a ticket to power and wealth. Meanwhile, men are conditioned to believe that women only care about money and that only young, attractive, and obedient women are worth pursuing. For wealthy men, this dynamic is particularly ruthless. They often favor younger women, frequently changing partners. Many young professional women who date these elite men are left behind. By the time these women approach their 30s and look for men with similar qualifications, they find these men have chosen younger women instead. Thus, they are left in a race against time, becoming part of the so-called leftover women. These so-called elite men are often individuals with money, power, and household registration benefits, those who thrive in political or business circles, leveraging networks to benefit themselves and their families. Ultimately, the women who marry these so-called elite men typically come from privileged backgrounds. For these men, marriage is not about love, it's about resource integration. A woman's education isn't the priority. What matters is whether her family can enhance their interests. Do her parents hold influential positions? Has she been trained from a young age to navigate political or business environments? Can she skillfully manage relationships tied to power and profit within the family? Women from privileged circles are groomed from a young age to excel at husband management, learning how to read people and secure family benefits. For them, marrying elite men is straightforward. For ordinary women, breaking into this circle is almost impossible. Even with strong credentials, they often remain outsiders. Women who cannot enter elite circles are left to navigate the marriage market through blind dates and evaluations of their value and future benefits. These processes involve cautious negotiations, where every action is weighed, and every contribution is expected to yield returns. For example, the marriage exam GPA mentioned previously in this video. It reduces women's reproductive history to cold statistics, turning it into a bargaining tool. Others, willing to marry down, offer economic concessions or agree to take on a house husband who will take on all household responsibilities and childcare. Even small disagreements over who pays for a meal or gives the gift during a date reflect this transactional approach, as both sides try to maximize their own interests. A viral dating story on Douyin sparked heated discussions recently. A woman agreed to meet a man after hearing he drove a Mercedes, but he arrived on an electric scooter instead. To make things worse, she intentionally ordered spicy and salty Jiangxi dishes, making it hard for him to eat. She then disappeared for 20 minutes, pretending to take a phone call, left him to pay the bill, and even packed the leftovers to feed her dog. What seems like a farce is in reality a cold calculation. Trust and security have become nearly impossible to find. The root of this coldness and calculation isn't just personal flaws, it's a reflection of the broader social environment. Who made housing prices so high that young people can't afford them? Who left healthcare and retirement systems inadequate, forcing families to fear getting sick or growing old? Who exploits workers with grueling 996 or 007 work schedules, leaving them barely able to make ends meet? The dog-eat-dog world society created by the CCP leaves people too burdened by survival to think about love. The marriage market has devolved into a raw battle of interests, reducing emotional connections to transactions. Security and trust have become unattainable luxuries. This is the heart of the problem. Yet the Chinese government shifts the blame for the chaotic marriage market onto women, accusing them of being too picky, while ignoring the deeper social issues at play. Some women consider not marrying at all, but then face societal pressure. Propaganda insists that women without children are irresponsible. The CCP's messaging forces women to be both workers and bearers of children. After marriage, women often face stalled career progression and reduced income. If they become mothers, returning to the workforce later is almost impossible. As a result, many women demand homes, cars, and financial stability during marriage negotiations to secure some sense of safety. If Chinese society ensured retirement, education, and healthcare security, reducing financial risks from mortgages, childcare, and medical emergencies, fewer would insist on partners earning out-of-reach wages. Some women with better financial conditions openly declare, "I choose not to marry or have children." The CCP doesn't let this slide either. Propaganda heaps moral pressure on these women, accusing them of dragging down society and abandoning family values. Being single is framed as a social problem. State media promotes the idea that leftover women are unhappy, emphasizing that marriage options decline sharply with age, implying that staying single is a personal failure. Occasionally, the media showcases success stories of women finding love late in life or marrying just in time. Emotional narratives accompany these stories, subtly warning single women to hurry up or miss out. Meanwhile, government-backed matchmaking events like civil servant dating fairs and single youth meetups push women to find a spouse quickly. Family pressure is another tool. Relatives, acting as enforcers of government expectations, constantly nag women with phrases like, "How can you not get married?" or "Who will take care of you in old age?" Even dating sites and marriage agencies are weaponized to target single women, treating them as a resource to be managed. In the CCP's view, single women are not just individuals but potential threats to societal stability. This isn't about concern for their happiness. It's about population growth and preserving traditional family structures. Some influencers labeled as leftover women are accused of using their status to gain attention online. However, these platforms often serve as an emotional outlet for them to share their experiences and frustrations. Denying them this space would only increase their stress, making their struggles even harder to bear. Moreover, while some influencers earn slightly more than average through their online presence, their income is rarely extravagant. They shoulder the dual burdens of work and life alone while enduring constant judgment from society. If social media can provide some financial compensation, it's a small reward for their hard work. Without the support of marriage or family, they rely entirely on themselves, a challenging reality. On social media, men and women frequently attack each other, but the real culprit is the CCP, which manipulates the system. It concentrates resources in the hands of the elite, reshaping values to prioritize material wealth over everything else. This stifles people's desire for emotional connection, respect, and self-fulfillment. Everyone is being pushed to the brink, yet no one dares question those in power. For older single women, finding a partner becomes increasingly difficult, and even matchmaking agencies begin to give up. At the start of this year, a matchmaking agency in Jinhua announced it would no longer accept unmarried women over 35. This decision is surprising, since these women make up 60% of the agency's revenue. But the agency explained their reasoning bluntly. The cost of serving this group is too high, and it's nearly impossible to find men who meet their expectations. Even if these women have impressive qualifications, high education, good incomes, and attractive looks, men their age aren't interested. Instead, these men focus on younger women, even if they are less accomplished, and won't consider women over 35. These women are also barred from attending regular matchmaking events, with organizers stating, "You won't succeed, you'll feel neglected and embarrassed, and then you'll complain to us. It's better to avoid the trouble." This stems from societal values shaped by the CCP, which teaches that men should seek young and beautiful partners, while older women are undesirable, even if they excel in other areas. One netizen argued, "Don't blame the CCP, older women couldn't marry in ancient times either. But is that comparison valid? In the past, young women didn't go to school or work. Their lives were simple. Parents raised them until they married at 15 or 16, and the husband then took on the responsibility of providing for the family. Women didn't have to worry about housing or finances. Today, women must pursue education, build careers, and often care for their parents, leaving little time for other priorities. By the time they achieve professional success, they encounter skyrocketing housing prices and inadequate healthcare and retirement systems, forcing them to shoulder these burdens alone. Both men and women face immense pressure, making careful consideration in choosing a partner essential, as a poor decision could worsen their already precarious situation. China's marriage market isn't about women being too materialistic or men being too selfish. The root problem lies in the system. The CCP keeps ordinary people stuck in their socio-economic class without providing adequate social security. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, vulnerable to any financial setback. This dynamic aligns with the CCP's interests, as competition in the marriage market shifts focus away from broader governance challenges and systemic inequalities. Personal struggles may occupy individuals, leaving less attention directed toward questioning those in authority. High housing prices and unmarried individuals are present in Western developed countries, but China's situation differs. Marriage in China is uniquely tied to economics and power, with narratives such as abortion records make a woman undesirable, and bride prices becoming live-streamed events that fuel national debates. In contrast, women in many Western countries can lead comfortable lives with access to reliable social security, healthcare, and education systems without relying on marriage for financial security. Under the CCP, the alliance between political elites and capitalists pushes ordinary people into a survival of the fittest environment. As for foreign women marrying into China, many come from Southeast Asia or Eastern Europe, where social welfare is less robust. Marrying a Chinese man may seem like a better option, but once they integrate into Chinese society, they face the same issues as local families: expensive healthcare, unaffordable education, crushing mortgages, and no safety net for retirement. After experiencing these challenges, their marriages may not be as idyllic as portrayed in Chinese media. The CCP's policies, propaganda, and resource monopolies have turned marriage into a cold transaction. If the CCP had genuine concern for the public, it would prioritize improving living standards, reducing housing costs, and providing better social security and healthcare to alleviate women's concerns. However, after years of inaction, it has instead intensified its use of slogans like "to lose is shameful" and "everyone must have 3 children." These political campaigns only add to public anxiety without addressing real issues. Meanwhile, the children of the elite study abroad, form connections with wealthy families, completely detached from the leftover women and men battling it out at home. The challenges faced by older women labeled as past their prime, or those offering dowries, reflect systemic issues within the current structure. These women are not failures or undesirable leftovers, but individuals navigating a constrained system. Some may choose to move abroad, others may remain single or marry foreigners. Regardless of their choices, they should not bear undue shame or be subjected to ridicule. As times change, some younger individuals now say, "I don't care about dowries or flashy weddings. I just want a partner to grow old with." There are also genuine love stories of foreign women marrying into China, but these individual cases cannot overshadow the systemic injustice and pressure faced by older single women. The phrase, "marrying well is better than working hard," is a product of the CCP's social engineering. When the state doesn't provide welfare or equal opportunities, people are forced to rely on marriage to fill the gaps. Marriage, in this context, shifts from a personal union to a marketplace of scrutiny and judgment, often leaving older women marginalized. Instances of women being criticized at matchmaking events or voicing their frustrations on live streams highlight broader systemic issues. Rather than ridicule, attention should focus on addressing the systemic inequalities that contribute to their struggles.